Can we proceed? Are we ready to proceed? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We hear you.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. So just to go over the program again, I don't know if everyone is looking at the program or if you have a copy of it. So now we have one more speaker that I'm about to introduce. And then after that, we will give you opportunities to share your story with us or to ask questions also. And also we'll tell you a little bit more about opportunities to volunteer with UNESCO Center for Global Friendship. And the next speaker that we would like to introduce is Dr. Joseph Bernard Jr. He was born in Haiti of Jewish descent through mother born Na. The Nas went to Haiti from Curacao during the colonial period. There were Sephardic Jews who in time converted to Catholicism. Dr. Joseph Bernard Jr. is the director of the acclaimed Innovating Health International Cancer Program and the author of Haiti's Jewish History. He has also published several books, including History of Haiti's German Colony, History of Haiti's Arab and Jewish Colonies, and History of Haiti's Italian Colony. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Joseph Bernard Jr.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First of all, I would like to thank UNESCO, Mr. Angelucci Maniga for inviting me. I would also like to thank Harriet and Bill Moore who are online. We have been working on this project for since 2010 on the aftermath of Haiti's earthquake. And it is a pleasure for me to present to you the role that the Haitian Republic played during the Shoah. It's not a very known part of Haitian history, but and that's why I was a little bit curious about it. And with my new book that was launched today on Remembrance Day, so there were major updates on the role of Haiti during the Shoah, and that I want to share with you this evening. So can I share my slides now, or?
I did make you a co-host, yes. You should be able to share.
Okay. So is it good?
It's just saying that you're started share screening, but it's not showing anything.
Okay.
Entirely frozen.
And Dr. Bernard, since we already have the presentation, can we show the presentation that you sent us?
Is it the video? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
He's got it now.
Okay.
I have a video queued up. That's what I have.
Did we lose him? No, he's there.
Does somebody want me to queue up the video, or are we doing a slideshow? Sorry, I'm not sure what it is.
Dr. Bernard.
Yes.
Yeah, can we show the video you sent us, or?
Okay, no problem. Okay.
We can do that. It's fine with you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you answer a question later?
Okay, Good,
If-
because
oh,
I might have some technical issues.
oh, okay. Okay, good.
This is what I've got. Can everybody see it now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start it and make it full screen.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph Bernard Jr. It is a pleasure for me to present to you Haiti and the Shoah this evening on Remembrance Day.
There's no sound.
Let me pop out and pop back in. Sorry, folks.
Okay.
Pascal, I think your mic might be turned on there.
Thanks.
While we're trying to overcome the technical difficulties, Angelucci, you had a question about the Red Army's role in liberating concentration camps. It's my understanding that most of them were in Poland, which the Red Army was entirely responsible for ridding the Germans of, and the ones in Germany probably were in the eastern end, which the Red Army also got to, that the rest of the Allies never did.
Can you repeat that, Philip?
Yes, I said, while we're waiting for the technical issues to be overcome,
Yeah.
you had asked a question about the role of the Red Army in liberating concentration camps.
No, that's
And it's my understanding that most of the concentration camps were in Poland, which Russia or the Soviet Union was entirely responsible for kicking the Germans out of the Allies, never got anywhere near Poland or even.
Okay, thank you for the comment, Philip.
Yes. And
Are
also,
we ready to go?
Yes.
already? Okay, great. Anytime you're ready. Dr. Bernard?
Speaking country. So the island is nowadays called.
Is everybody not seeing this? Because I have it on full screen.
No, yes, I'm seeing it right now.
Okay, so is it playing? I mean, I have it on pause now, but I've
Yes.
started playing it again. Everybody good?
Sure.
Originally,
There's no sound.
the French version was launched. in June.
Okay, I'm not sure what's happened. let me try to, let me just try to reboot this. Give me a second. I'm just going to go out of it and try to bring up, give me just 1 second. Thank you.
Okay. In the meantime, while we try to fix the problem, we can start the testimonies. If anyone would like to share a story with us while Philip is trying to fix the technical difficulties.
I have it up again. Can everybody see it?
Okay, yes.
And it's starting now. Let me pop it to 105.
Haiti, Republic of Haiti, that took its independence.
Can you hear the sound now?
In 1804.
Very low.
Haiti, the Republic of Haiti, is a French and Creole speaking country. On the east, on the eastern part of the country, there is a Dominican.
Is that any better?
We can see a slide, but there's no sound.
There's no sound. I don't know what, I have no idea what's happening. I completely went out, I closed all the windows and I went back to the email where it was sent. I clicked on the email and opened up a new window and shared it. I don't know. And I have it on, the volume's on high. This has never happened. I apologize. It's never happened to me before.
Okay, not a problem. Dr. Bernard, are you able to do the presentation without the slides?
Yes, can I try with the slides?
Okay,
I'll try with the slides.
okay.
Can you see the slides?
It's a black screen.
Okay, let me try again.
Okay.
Does it appear now?
That looks great.
Okay, it's good?
Yes.
Okay. So as I said, I'm sharing with you the role that Haiti played during the Shoah. And this will be the outline of my presentation of this evening. So I'm gonna do a short presentation of Haiti and talk a bit about my book, Haiti's Jewish History, and then we'll discuss about the role that Haiti played during the Shoah, and end with the important role that Haiti played during for the creation of the state of Israel. So, where is Haiti actually? Haiti is an island in the Caribbean. Sometimes I always, when I present myself to some people, especially French people, like I say, hi, I'm Joseph, I'm from Haiti. And they say, you're from Tahiti, right? No, that's not the same country. That's not the same island at all. Haiti is a country in the Caribbean. And in this country, you have two different, in this island, you have two different countries. You have the Republic of Haiti that took its independence from France because it was a former French colony. Haiti's independence was obtained in 1804. And the Republic of Haiti is a French and Creole speaking country. While on the eastern part of the island, you have the Dominican Republic, a Spanish-speaking country that took its independence from the Republic of Haiti in 1844. And on the same island, you have, I would say, two different countries. So like I said, the English version of my book was launched today on Remembrance Day, but the French version was launched since June 2012. And in my book, there are two chapters. The first one on the colonial period, the Jewish presence during the colonial period. And you have the second chapter that is about the Jewish presence during the Haitian period from 1804 to date. And if we discuss on the Jewish immigration in Haiti, we could say that it's divided into two big periods, of course. The colonial period, where Sephardic Jews from France, especially the city of Bordeaux, from Curacao, from Jamaica and St. Thomas, settled in Haiti. And these Jews were called Portuguese Jews. But however, most of these Jewish families left Saint-Domingue after the Haitian Revolution that started in 1791. And during the Haitian period, you had two like say Jewish migrations. The first one that started at the end of the 19th century, and during the Arab immigration, among the Syro-Lebanese, there were also Jews, and they were called Syrians. They were all called Syrians. And during the Shoah, there were, of course, Ashkenazi Jews who came from Europe, and they were mainly called Austrians. It is sort of weird that they were not called Jews and they were given an other nationality. So, since when did the Republic of Haiti get involved in the Shoah? So it started with the Evian Conference that was held on July 1938. And the aim of this conference was to find a solution to the migration of the Jews from the German occupied territories. So Haiti volunteered to welcome Jewish refugees. And in fact, in Haiti, the Jewish immigration during the Shoah was a little bit triggered by Kristallnacht that happened on the night of November 9 to 10, 1938. And one of the representatives of the Haitian government was Mr. Léon Hubert-Thébault, whose picture is on the slide. In order to welcome the Jewish refugees, and several changes were made to the Haitian legislation. And these changes started under the presidency of Sténio Vincent, who became president after the American occupation. And three options were given to the Jewish families in order to immigrate in Haiti. Either they could obtain a Haitian visa through the several Haitian consulate in the main cities in Europe, such as Paris, London, Hamburg. Either they could obtain naturalization, they could go to the Haitian consulates and take the oath of naturalization and become automatically Haitian citizens. And this was made possible through the decree law of May 29, 1939. A third option was to declare themselves as refugees, and this was made possible with another decree law that was published 2 months later in July 1939. However, the main option chosen by these families was the naturalization. So what were the conditions to naturalization? The first one was to write a letter of intent. The second one was to pay the consular fees. And the third one was to prove that the Jews were willing to contribute to Haiti's development, either by showing that they invested in an agricultural or industrial company. And as you can see on this slide, you have a copy of a letter of intent of Mr. Abraham Frankenstein. So these are pictures of visas that were issued to Jewish families. These belong to the Moore family, and they were issued at the Haitian consulate in Hamburg in March of 1939. This is a picture of what was called the letter of naturalization. If the Jew opted for Haitian naturalization, that this document was issued in order to prove the Haitian nationality. How many Jews received the Haitian visa? That we don't know. However, it is well known that around 134 Jews became Haitian citizens, and that saved their lives. However, President Elie Lescaut, who replaced Seigneur Vincent, ended migration by with a decree law that was published in August 1942. And with this decree law, the Haitian nationality of most of these Jewish refugees was revoked. However, this is a new development through the latest list that was recently published by the Pilecki Institute from Poland. They discovered that a lot of fake consular papers, fake passport, fake letters of naturalizations were issued by the so-called Lados, or the so-called Bernese group. Mr. Lados was a Polish diplomat that was based in Bern, Switzerland, and that's where the name Bernese Group came from. And this organization sort of issued fake consular papers from different Latin American countries, mainly Paraguay, Honduras, Peru, and of course, Haiti. The Bernese group sent the copies, not the originals, of these the consular papers to Jews who were either interned in concentration or extermination camps or in ghettos. And if they were in concentration camp, this paper literally could save their life. And you have a copy, a picture of one of these fake Haitian documents that was issued by the Haitian General Consulate in Zurich. One of the head figures of the Bernese group was Dr. Abraham Zilberstein, who was a Polish diplomat, a Polish lawyer. He founded a Jewish organization called Relico, who was also trying to save Jewish refugees from Europe. And he was the main contact of the Bernese group with the Haitian consul in Zurich. He was arrested by the Swiss police in September 1943, but he was quickly released due to pressure given by the several Jewish organizations that were funding these fake documents. So according to the Yad Vashem archive and according to the latest list, we could determine that around 280 Jewish refugees had these fake Haitian documents. And as you can see, most of them came from Poland, Germany, the Netherlands, and France. In terms of their fate, their outcome, 27% of them were known to have survived the Shoah. 30% are known to have perished, and there are almost a half of them for which we don't know the real outcome. So how was the outcome of the Jewish refugees in Haiti? Like it was mentioned that most of them came from Germany and Austria. but also from Poland, Czechoslovakia, the Netherlands, Russia, Hungary, and Italy. Most of these families spent a few months to several years, up to 10 years sometimes, in Haiti. Most of them were self-sustainable because they became very successful businessmen and businesswomen. However, the JDC, through a Haitian organization, which was the JRCH, was funding, was subsidizing, was giving a monthly subsidy to these Jewish families. But most of
Dr. Bernard, there's no
Yes.
sound. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I was on mute. I was muted. I don't know who muted. So is it okay now?
You're
Yeah.
good. Sorry about that.
Okay.
We were trying to let somebody in. I muted you by accident.
Okay, no problem. So here you have a graph that I created from the monthly reports of the JRCH to the JDC. And as you could see, from January 1945 to May 1968, we went from 148 Jewish refugees from 18 refugees. And there's a letter of Mr. Ernest Pinkerley, who was the executive director of the JRCH, reporting to the JDC that it was no longer necessary to send the monthly subsidy in Haiti because most of these Jewish families left Haiti or had died. So I'm going to present you three Jewish families that were in Haiti during the Shoah. First of all, the Moore family, who was from Fürth, Germany. Ernst Moore was detained in Dachau. Once released, he obtained Haitian visas for his family at the consulate of Haiti in Hamburg. They arrived in Haiti on May 8, 1939, and they left a few months later in February 1940 for the US. As you can see, there are the photos of Ernst Moore and her wife, and above there's the picture of Bill and her sister with some Haitian friends. The second family that I would like to present is the Meinberg family from Hamburg, Germany. They were two brothers who from Hamburg who obtained also visas from their hometown. And once in Haiti, they opened a mahogany and seesaw shop, and they became very successful by exporting their merchandise either to the US or to Canada. And both of these brothers had each a daughter, Eva and Anita, who are the contributors of the Haiti Holocaust Project. The third family that I would like to present is the Baum family. I found the book from Mina Bernard in November of 2019 in New York at the Center of Jewish History, and it's a small book that sort of was about the history of this family. Eugene Baum, who opted for the Haitian naturalization. Eugene, his wife Mathieu, and his first daughter Mina arrived in Haiti in the summer of 1940. Eugene became a big investor in Haiti, invested in agriculture and manufacturing. He was also in the mahogany business, along with the Meinberg family. During their stay, the couple had a second daughter, Reina, in Haiti. However, this family left Haiti for the US in 1945. Finally, I'll discuss a bit about the role that Haiti played during the vote for the creation of the state of Israel. This happened in 1947 under President Jumasse Estimé. It was a pretty controversial vote because in the beginning, Haiti voted no for the creation of Israel. But apparently, after pressure given from the Jewish community of the US, the Haitian representatives switched their vote from no to yes, and that was crucial because the switch helped the creation of the state of Israel. So in conclusion, we could say that Haiti, the Haitian government played an important role in saving Jewish refugees during the Shoah. And during end of 1938 to mid 1942, visas, letters of naturalizations were issued to Jewish refugees who eventually settled in Haiti. I would like to say that some of them couldn't arrive in Haiti, but they landed either in another country of Latin America. Some of them went also to the Dominican Republic on the eastern part of the island. There were also fake Haitian consular letters that were issued by the Bernese group in 1943 and 1944, and that apparently helped save some Jewish refugees that were detained in concentration and extermination camps. We could also conclude that Haiti was considered by most of the Jewish refugees as a country of transit. And that is, we can explain that by the fact that there's no significant Jewish community in Haiti, no synagogue, no Jewish neighborhood. So like I say, it was a country of transit because for most of them, the final destination was mainly the United States or a country of Latin America. So I would like to end by acknowledging the hard work that was made by Harriet and Bill Moore from the Haiti Holocaust Project. We have been collaborating since 2010, and this project actually started on the aftermath of Haiti's earthquake in 2010. So if you want to consult their email, it would be great. Haiti Holocaust Survivors, WordPress.com. Special thanks to Mr. Angelucci Maniga from UNESCO Center for Global Friendship, who invited me to this activity. A special thank also to the Fairfield Public Library. And I would like to end by giving credit to some Jewish centers, Yad Vashem, Center for Jewish History, United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, the JDC, and the Piliki Institute, who put their archives online. And thanks to that, I could be able to give you this talk and update my book. And I can say that the research project will continue. So it is important to call for additional testimonies, either from survivors of the Haitian rescue or from the Bernese group. And there's a activity that we're planning for May 29 to 2021 on the anniversary of the decree law on in absentia naturalization. So I'll keep you updated, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bernard, for this great presentation. I've learned a lot. I did not know, I'm from Haiti, but I did not know that history of Haiti. My question to you is that, although you said that, so Haiti was really a point of transit for the Jewish settlers that were coming to the United States. But over time, have you found any continued relationship between the Haitian community and the Jewish community, either in Haiti or in the United States?
Yes, I could say that, because there's some families that were like, part of these families were in the US, and another part was still in Haiti. So there was some communication. However, to date, we can say that the Jewish community is very small, and most of the Jewish families that are now in Haiti are from mainly the Arab immigration of the end of the 19th century.
Thank you. So please, this is an opportunity for the audience to ask questions of Dr. Bernard.
You mentioned that there was not much of a Jewish community in Haiti before this, and that it was seen more of a transitional country. Is there more of a community now? Did more of those families stay and find a life there?
In fact, no. That's in fact, there are very few families, Jewish families in Haiti, and even though they're present in Haiti, that they spend most of their time either in the Dominican Republic or in the U.S. So no, there's no significant Jewish community nowadays in Haiti.
Another question is, so during that time, they spent a good, it seems like between at least a 10-year period in Haiti. What sort of influence do you say that they have left behind to date?
Not much, I would say, because like I said, we don't really have traces of this Jewish immigration in Haiti. What is actually present as Jewish presence in Haiti is mostly comes from the Arab migration, but not from the Jewish families who came during the Shoah. However, you have one or two families who stayed. For example, you had Mr. Kurt Fischer, who spent most of his life in Haiti and who became a famous collector, who became he even became a minister in Haiti because he became Haitian citizen. So we had very few. There's very few testimonies of this Jewish immigration in Haiti, I would say.
Hello? Could you say something about the Arab Jewish families in Haiti?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, at the end of the 19th century until the beginning of the first half of the 20th century, there was a sort of Arab migration. There were